So that does that. And then we wait.
Trying to put on a show here.
And we're back to Salt of the Streets podcast.
That's one of my favorites, man.
And we're live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live!
We'll do it live!
We're out here live, this Salt of the Streets pre-show live, episode 98.
Woo!
Good Lord. My name is Donovan,
I'm calling.
and we're doing it. Thank you again for joining us. Like I said, episode 98 today.
Dude, look at the bags underneath these eyes, bro.
Well, that's what you get. This fantastic studio redesign. It's thanks to this man right here. Stayed up
can
until
almost
3:30. It looks good. I think
You
we
know.
got a lot going on. I have that signed Salt of the Streets T-shirt. I'm gonna put in a shadow box. I'm gonna put that up here.
Fuck yeah.
So it's like Sunday Jeff, all of the people at the store. So we're gonna get that in a shadow box, and we'll get that
Oh,
here.
yeah. I went to that store. You remember that. You
Yeah,
remember
yeah. So we got all that cracking. Thank you again for joining us. Today's the 28th. I think I already said that.
Yeah, happy post-Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes, it is the tail, and yeah, happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday. Did you buy anything for Black Friday? Did you Black Friday shop anything
Just on
online?
the interwebs,
What did
yeah.
you buy online?
I got a sound bar for the
Excuse
living room
me.
because the sound from the TV sucks. It's one of them joints where it's like you'll be watching a movie or a TV show and the music is so loud you got to turn it down. But then when the dialogue actually kicks in, you can't hear them talk.
Yes.
So I think to avoid that, the sound bar will help. I also got us a brand new USB, a powered USB hub for the cast. That way we won't have any drop problems like we started to have with the old one. So that's what we got. And then we got a bunch of stuff for the house and stuff too. So
Love it.
but kept it all under $300. I was so excited.
Nice.
We shopped for hard online all day yesterday, looking for the deals.
Yeah. That's
What about you
what's
guys?
up.
I did go
what
out
we-
yesterday, by the way, and I have a story about that. But we'll get to that in a minute.
We bought probiotics, a cake spreader thing.
As one does.
I got my medical bag in the mail.
Yes,
for
I
my
saw
belt.
that.
So, so I have that on there. So I got a patch for that, like a medical patch for that.
Oh, yeah. So that way you can go to Antifa rallies and be a medic or...
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, because everything on my belt is black, so just so that
Mhm.
there's some indication that this pouch has medical supplies in it, as opposed to the other ones that are on there.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's good. That way... Yeah, because you're going to have to be so kitted out. You'll have to know which bag is which.
Yeah, exactly. I got a plate carrier, and then I got a dump pouch, so I bought those things. Those
So
are coming
what's
in
the dump
mail.
pouch? Talk to me about this
The dump pouch is just like a general purpose. It like rolls up, so you can put like extra mags in there, or like we pick up, brass at the range. So like if I'm standing there, if I catch brass or something, then that's just put it in there.
Nice.
Random bullets, if
Clutch pouch.
if we're gonna do, fucking whatever, one reload one, so I can empty out a magazine in there.
Oh,
and
yeah,
just
yeah,
have,
yeah.
like just put one at a time. So shit like that. Thank you guys for joining us, Kathy and Paul.
Paul,
out
my
here.
buddy!
And he said, "Ho ho ho, Christmas time."
Yeah, it's officially... Turkey Day's over, so welcome in the fat man.
Do you think that the day after Thanksgiving is the appropriate time to start doing Christmas stuff?
Well, yes.
You don't
I'd
sound
say
convinced with your own answer.
Societally, I believe that is the
Societally.
appropriate time to get by without anybody casting shade. I will say there's been Christmas lights up in the neighborhood for going on 2 weeks now.
Shouldn't be doing
Pretty
it
sure.
before Thanksgiving.
Right? It feels weird.
Before Thanksgiving is
But-
not good.
But apparently there's Catholic folk that
What are you doing?
also... What is this weird? They do it... It's like the 21st of November or something like that.
What?
No.
We start putting things up on the All Saints Day.
All Saints
which is
Day.
After the Day of the Dead.
After the Day of the Dead. Wow. So they start putting it up after the Day of the Dead on All Saints Day. And that's beginning of November.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of Christmas time. And then you keep them
It's
up
too much Christmas.
till the Wise Man's Day.
Larry says July is the perfect time.
Yes, Larry. My birthday's in July, so it's always Christmas in July.
As
for
soon
me,
as your
baby.
birthday's over, it's Christmas as far as you're concerned.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
We leave them up until January 6th.
January 6th. That's how. Yeah, and that's the Wise Man's Day, or yeah.
The 10th annual Tell 'em Steve Dave Christmas pod came out, and so
Already?
Yeah, they release it on Black Friday every year. And
Oh,
so I
hot
listened
dog.
to it yesterday morning at work, and one of the questions that they asked us when was like the most. They played a bunch of different games, and they played Family Feud. And so the question
Oh,
was
that's
when,
good.
when do people start setting up their Christmas shit? And some people do it like the day before Christmas, like on Christmas Eve, the night of Christmas Eve. People are putting out Christmas shit. I know that's weird.
That
you
seems
know,
a little much to me.
that's
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know.
Oh, I gotta ask, baby. When you get a sec, can you grab my my new hat? I want to see what Don thinks of the new hat.
Oh shit!
We'll put it on. We'll put it on. Yeah, look at all my fucking hats now, man. I finally all got
A
them
little
put together.
Stacksky over there. I like
I
that.
got a little Stacksky.
Oh my god.
We made fun
Little
of the guy with
paperboy
this
hat?
hat
Yeah, we
yesterday.
did.
There
We
we
did.
go.
We made fun of a guy with this hat on. But that's not bad, especially on camera.
Dude, Pinky Blinders.
That's not bad.
I still never seen the show, but
What do you
apparently
think,
I
babe?
look like Pinky Blinders.
What do you think?
He pulls it off.
Yeah, it's not
Pull
bad.
off.
Looks
You
like
definitely.
he, like Sherlock Holmes' partner.
Ooh,
Watson?
Watson.
Yeah.
Just not necessarily Watson.
Oh, just Sherlock
Another
Holmes'
guy.
partner. Okay.
In the
Word.
American remake. That's what it
Um,
is.
Someone else. Come on, guys.
I do have to mention, because it's the 28th, this is the tail end of November. Right here, we did have Larry Dixon on last week, or last episode, and we talked about the mustache. Obviously, I kind of posted like last week. Because of COVID and shutdowns and everything, I'm not really pushing. I stopped, pushing for like donations and stuff just because times is so weird. Really, just for
People
people
need their
to
own money.
Yeah, and exactly. So I would rather people just spread information, and if you know somebody who's older. Kathy said I can rock it. Thank you very much, Kathy. And if you know somebody who is, resistant to going to the doctor, who probably should,
Most men.
yeah, most men who don't love the idea of somebody putting a finger up their butt, I think that's understandable. But it's for your own health, and you should do it. Go and get a prostate exam. Go and get a testicular exam. Make sure that all these things are happening. Make sure that you're checking in with mental health professionals. Make sure that you are checking in with your family members, so the people know where you're at, so that everybody be healthy, be happy, be healthy for the holidays.
And so Governor Cuomo
That's
can stick the police on you during the holidays.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly. So then him and what's the California governor? What's his name?
The governor. Oh, Newsom.
Yeah,
Gavin Newsom.
so that he can go out to dinner with
Yeah.
his friends. All these things.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, but
My
that's it.
COVID rage later today.
So if you are in a position, you're obviously more than welcome to donate. Go to Movember.com/Donovan Phillips, DONAVAN Phillips with 2 L's. You can donate there if you want to. If you can't, not a big deal. Just make sure the people around you are being healthy.
It's not a big deal. You're just saving lives when you do.
That's right. RJ, One Dot, put out a new song. It's called Wear a Mask. Fucking nasty. Listen to it on the way here. Upper Left has been just putting out fucking fire these
Yeah,
last
lots
couple
and
weeks.
lots
Yeah,
of-
this whole year they've been keeping 2020 alive. Just dropping fucking bangers. So,
If that's not making the best out of a shitty situation, I don't know what is, man.
yes,
If
exactly.
If everybody's having a hard time working and staying employed and stuff like that, it's nice to see a lot of people out there putting in
Yeah.
a lot of work in their side hustles and shit.
Looked like they
it's
were
great.
out shooting a new video last weekend, I
quality
believe. So
on quality
yeah, they're
from those guys.
doing some things. I believe they have some more music coming out soon.
John Satak doing another video, man?
I believe
Yeah.
so. So they got some things in the books. Upper Left is killing it. One Dot is killing it. All of their music is available on all platforms. Search for Upper Left. Search for One Dot. PNW Nils. They all have their things kind of separate and then also together, so you can search all of those artists and do any different things. Mac Rays, Denzel 2 AM. So they all have their own shit and they all have things collectively. What?
Dr. Sly.
Dr.
Dr.
Sly.
Sly.
Yeah, and that's remember he's John Satek is different stuff on different. He's Dr. Sly
Yeah.
on YouTube though, right? That's what we
Yeah.
or John Tastic on YouTube. It's one of those two things. It's either Dr. Sly
Shit.
or John Tastic on YouTube. Either way, you can follow all their stuff there. They're all making fantastic content. I just wanted to make sure that we hit all those things. I got to call somebody out. Somebody that the last, I don't know, a couple months I've been saying a lot of good things, using him as examples. Steven Crowder, right? I've been
Steven
using him
Crowder.
as a lot of positive examples. So I was watching him earlier this week.
Like, do I need to put my body armor?
No,
Who's
I
that
just
shot
gotta
out
take.
there?
We're not gonna talk shit. I gotta call him out a little bit because earlier this week,
Fraud
he's
week.
talking about Fraud Week. Exactly.
Fraud Week.
Yeah, it's in Fraud Week. He's doing Fraud Week every day. He's coming to a different state.
Yeah.
And the different fraud cases that are going on there in regards to the election. So he was talking about freedom. And I don't remember why, but, just in general, freedom and blah, blah, blah.
Freedom's a big deal.
Oh, Thanksgiving. He's talking about Thanksgiving, the freedom to.
Is that a civil disobedience episode?
Yes, exactly. So in this episode, he's talking about freedom and how you should be able to affiliate with who you want. Freedom of affiliation, all this stuff, right? And then he's talking about how in Oregon, you can't have Thanksgiving. Oh, but people can do drugs and all this shit. And they don't need that. So he's cracking down on this because this doesn't fit into his realm of freedom. And he's always talking about he's a libertarian. You know what I'm saying? I'm a libertarian. I don't really care. People do whatever. Free markets. I don't care. Whatever. Anybody's interest. But if you're doing drugs, you're a fucking idiot. I don't think they should be doing that. Why? How inconsistent for all of the things that he's talking about. Personal freedom. Personal responsibility. I don't give a shit. Leave it up to yourself. States' rights. All this shit.
Yeah, that's...
And now that it's one thing that he doesn't personally agree with, he's going to, flip on it.
Yeah.
And I understand that it's, you can have your own personal views, but I think part of something that we've experienced doing this podcast, part of being objective and part of having really strong ethics and morals is being uncomfortable at least half of the time. Things are going to happen that you don't morally or ethically have a problem with on a political scale, because this is how this is politically how I believe things should be, and this operates within this realm. I wouldn't do it myself, so I don't agree with it. It makes me uncomfortable, but it fits within this. You know what I'm saying? We run into those things all the time, and if you're not able to,
if you can't square the corner, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and this is something you find kind of rampant on both sides of the aisle as far as base political ideology. With conservatives in particular, they have this pesky kind of foundational moral principles that they like to cling to, as far as drug use and shit like that. They think it's immoral, they think it's bad, and so it's one thing to believe that in freedom, talking about freedom and all this good shit, but then you can also say that you have the freedom to do whatever drug you feel like, and especially with the laws passed in Oregon,
right,
essentially making it a misdemeanor, decriminalizing it, and all that good stuff.
Well, and
kind
the
of
the purpose of those laws, right, of these particular laws in Oregon is so that people can stop going to jail and they can have the opportunity to go to treatment instead of being locked up, right? That's part of the whole idea. Is not just because Oregon wants to have a lawless wasteland where people can be fucked up and piss and shit in the streets and everything this isn't San Francisco we're talking about. This is Oregon,
not San Francisco.
Right? So I just think that's so interesting that that's where he draws the line.
There, the
it's
hypocrisy
people
reigns.
who are choosing to.
Yeah.
It's very interesting from someone who is constantly preaching about personal choice, personal responsibility, being objective, like I said, to completely mischaracterize it and not embrace the libertarian win that is the enormous win of decriminalizing drugs in Oregon.
Regardless of how you morally and ethically square that away with yourself, it's liberty reigns here, people.
Because even when we talked about it, like 2 episodes ago, when we're saying we don't need to tell you that doing heroin is bad for you.
You'll find out.
Yeah, I don't need to tell you that. I think that you know that. You don't need me to tell you that doing illicit drugs is bad for you.
Yeah.
That's not. I don't need to tell you that. It's none of my responsibility whether or not you're choosing to do that. I think that that's fine. I think you should be able to do it as long as you're minding your own goddamn business. And I think that for a libertarian, for a new age conservative, should be a pretty basic value to hold on to. I was pretty shocked to hear that from him,
I was.
But
because I remember
maybe not shocked.
Because I actually watched
displeased.
that episode on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, because it was fairly good, but when he starts talking about that, I just let it blow past. And I don't know if it's just maybe I didn't take him that seriously but I don't, the hypocrisy on just coming from everybody is so abundant. I mean, from Shapiro on down, the PSA guys and everybody on both sides. I mean, they always like to stand on some fucking high horse while they completely do make another argument against their case, in the same sentence. That. And it drives me nuts, but then again, he's no better than anybody else.
The newest one was the mayor of Denver, I believe, And I read about this in the Epic
Yes.
Times first, where he told he told everyone in Denver not to travel,
Yeah.
and then the next day flew to Houston to meet his family.
Mm.
And
Mm.
it's just funny. And
You
so
see
when
a lot of that going around.
Yeah, when I tweeted that article, I quote tweeted with like, some people are more equal. Some animals are more equal than others. It's just like,
I remember. I was wondering what the context
yeah.
of that was.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Yeah, it's bad, man. I mean, yeah, Newsom got popped for going to the French Laundry with a ton of the medical
It's like
administration
15 people, 12 or
shit.
15 people that he's there just all in at one big table with.
Yep.
When when we could go out to eat, it was like no more than 5 people at one table, and they were like, some people are asking you if you live with the people that you're going to sit with, and like it was a whole deal.
None of your fucking business.
Then Gavin Newsom was like, well, I should have left once I got there and realized that it was a larger party than I had anticipated. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you had no fucking idea that 12 people were going to be there. You definitely thought only 3 people were going to be there.
Yep.
Come on, dude. Come on. The guy...
You're the top executive of that entire state, and you still feel like... that. I mean, it's such an obvious bullshit kind of cop-out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, I should have done better. And did you see his half-ass apology? And shit?
Yes.
It was so bad.
I don't remember who I was listening to.
At least he's not winning an Emmy for it.
I don't remember who I was listening to when they were talking about that, but he also called his wife the first partner.
Yes,
and not the first
partner.
lady. Yeah.
Only in California.
It was dumpster fire, and they were
that's
calling the first partner. I was like, this fucking guy,
it's so good,
just
dude.
so deep down the hole.
Fucking Bridget Fettesy's been on fire lately.
She's been great.
That
Huge
fucking
fan.
dumpster fire is beautiful.
Yeah, if
and
you're not
there is
watching Dumpster Fire,
and there's no new one this week. Sad face.
Yeah,
for the holidays.
If you're not watching Dumpster Fire, this is not an ad. # not an ad. It's amazing. Definitely worth your time. It's great. Dumpster Fire, Bridget Fettersy, huge fan.
Yeah, they're not paying us to advertise. I'm actually paying them and free advertising on our podcast.
There you go.
Because I joined her that locals.com thing that Dave Rubin started. She was one of the first accounts, so I joined up to Fettersy.com. $5 a month. It's pretty sweet. Just goes directly to the creators and shit.
Fuck yeah.
They got a nice little online platform. We're in the queue, by the way, to get on to locals, but
love it.
God knows how long the queue is.
Who knows?
Who knows? So let me tell you the story real quick.
Yes.
Since we're talking about COVID.
Yes, Black Friday.
Okay. So we did all of our Black Friday shopping online for the most part, right? We went out yesterday. I had some things to get at the hardware store and all that good stuff. So we ran out to that, and then I was gonna swing by because I finally got Josh hooked me up with the fucking Nintendo 64.
Shout out Josh.
With I think the Zelda Ocarina of Time game.
Love it.
And a controller and shit, so I got it all plugged in, and then I got super jazzed, and I was like, I need to go to GameStop and see if I can find some like GoldenEye or something like that, some good party games and another controller. So we hit the Home Depot, then we go to the GameStop right around the corner, Paul's Bow, and there's a fucking line of people at the door.
Oh, I'm sure. PS5.
I'm like, yeah, I totally forgot about that. So I'm like, fuck, I'm not waiting
Black
in line.
Friday, PS5.
Moving the fuck on. So then I was like, all right, cool. Well, I wanted to take Carolina out for some surprise ramen at our place in Silverdale, and not even really thinking about shutdown and all this good shit, because you drive to town, everybody and their fucking mother's out in town, all the stores are packed, everybody's rolling around, but the one place you can't fucking go to is a restaurant. You can't go into a restaurant.
Right.
And you can have 500 people in a fucking store, but you can't have 20 people at a restaurant.
Too small.
It's just not, I was so irrationally angry, even though I knew once I got there, like, oh yeah, we can't go in and eat. I was like, well, what do you mean we can't go in and eat? Oh, well, it's shut down. Motherfucker, I got so fucking angry.
That's all I want is to go to a bar. That's all I want. I just want to sit in a bar.
Our local establishment that we frequent, me and a couple people from my office and stuff, talking to the owner, if the lockdown as it is now, the closure of restaurants, because it's not a lockdown, right? They're just shutting all the restaurants down.
Yeah,
right?
well, I remember in Oregon
bars
they
and
called it
restaurants
like a state freeze or something like that. It was a 2-week freeze that they were doing.
And if it goes a day past the scheduled date, they will not reopen. They're going to go under at this point.
Really?
Yes.
Fuck.
An establishment that has been there since I've been around. It's been a couple different names, but still. could very possibly go away given our state's track record. Bar going out of Paulsbo on Viking Way.
The very first one, or if you're coming.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, for real. So hopefully, and that's that's just one anecdotal story out of thousands. I guarantee you, there are so many people that are hurting right now that will never, ever, ever reopen after this last fucking shutdown.
Well, and
nonsense.
have you seen at fucking like Azteca and Red Robin? You know, they have tarps set up outside like tents.
Oh, do they?
Closed tents set up outside.
What?
So you can eat
is
in
the
you
deal?
can eat in the tent outside, but you can't eat inside.
I don't.
Even though the tent is enclosed
don't.
outside.
Is it just me?
I'm not a scientist, but that doesn't make any sense.
If you're looking at a lot of these measures that have been implemented again, right? If within 30 seconds you can kind of be like, well, that doesn't make sense. How the fuck did we get here?
Got a problem here.
And how if you are to that point now where there's thousands of businesses that are going to not, they're in a death spiral unless they open up to do business.
Yeah.
How are they all not getting together like the, I don't know, some restaurant association, whatever, being like, fuck this.
So like some type of union?
So, I would just say a collective action of private business owners.
Collective action.
They're like an
group,
association, like various
yeah.
business associations. Y'all get
Small
together and
Business
decide that,
Owners
like, no,
Association.
I'm not going to lose my entire livelihood and the livelihood of all my employees because the governor says I have to. And they're offering no reimbursement at this point. I mean, I don't.
Right.
How much talk have you heard about more PPP loans and whatever the fuck it is? It's just, not to mention, our little one-time fucking $1,200 check. That's not even enough to cover half a month's
the
rent
bailout?
in a lot of places.
Bailout,
The
Colin.
bailout. Yeah,
The personal bailout of small businesses and people and
And
individuals.
speaking of bailouts, we're going
Bailout.
to talk about another bailout today, aren't we?
Bailouts.
The possibilities.
Yeah, so this week, we should get to that. This week, on episode 98, we are going to talk big topics this week. We're going to talk, let me start here. Over the next few episodes, I believe that we're going to kind of break down the Biden presidency, or at least like how it's supposed to look, right? He's
Yeah.
starting to pick cabinet members, so we'll kind of go over it topic by topic as it comes up,
Yeah,
So
'cause
this week...
There's been a few cabinet members that have been revealed
Yeah,
so far.
yeah, exactly. And so once the cabinet is selected, finalized, I foresee us kind of going through foreign policy objectives that are there. Today we're going to talk about gun policy. We're going to talk about the idea of a possible student loan payoff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Adding student loan debt to the national debt, whatever you want to call that. We are going to talk a little bit about the Kraken, releasing the Kraken, Sidney Powell, and we are going to talk, obviously, our hills to die on. So like I was saying about the Biden presidency, like I said, kind of, I foresee us, and we haven't talked about this prior to now, because I kind of just going through like topic by topic as it comes up.
I am, if nothing, fluid, baby.
Yeah,
I can roll with it.
And I figured that you would be down for it. That's usually how we kind of go about things. But yeah, as far as like foreign policy, national security,
Considering what the fuck
trade,
just happened in the foreign policy realm, by the way.
Yeah.
Jesus. You see that assassination of the Iranian nuclear scientist?
Yes.
And they're blaming it on Israel, and nobody really knows what's popping. Anyways,
2020 undefeated.
Undefeated
Stays
in the fuckery
undefeated,
department.
2020. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be covering today, and that's what we'll kind of be covering over the next few episodes. We do have, obviously, episode 100 coming up soon.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
Yes. Our next recording will be on Friday, and during that pre-show, we will discuss our recording schedule for 100, the release schedule for 100, because we're probably going to take a Christmas break, come back, start the year with 100. It's probably the best way to go about
because
it.
Next one will be 99.
99, exactly. Yeah. And so we will likely come back beginning of the year, episode 100, big and nasty, doing something crazy.
You know what the dopest part about 2021 is going to be? Is that New Year's Eve is on a Thursday. New Year's Day, the actual holiday, is on Friday. You roll right into the weekend. So no fuckery with trying to figure out when you got to go back to work and trying to go back to work all hungover.
That's
because
the
it's
best
gonna
part.
happen. That's the best.
That's the best part.
I am looking forward to 2021, baby.
Fuck whatever else happens in 2020.
Exactly.
At least it started on a Thursday.
Fuck war with Iran. Don't worry about it. It's fine. China. Never mind. I won't get all that pessimistic. I'm bitter about this, dude. I saw this. There was a website that had a great little breakdown of the Biden
picks.
cabinet picks so far, and I can't find it. I might before the show starts. So
I do know, we can hit on this real quick. I do know that either the person who has been selected or the final two people for sure for National Security Advisor or Defense Secretary actively work for defense contractors right now.
Yeah.
And because of the way the current law sits, they are not required to disclose publicly disclose what defense contractors they work for. Do we have a Secretary of Defense already?
Secretary of State, National Intelligence Director,
No, not
National
yet.
Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
Word. Jake Sullivan, that's not good.
Nope.
No, but that's not who I'm talking about. Like I said, the Secretary of Defense is the last two people that are there. Both actively work for defense contractors right now. And so after that, whoever selected will be in control of $700 billion to be distributed to whatever defense contractors they would like.
And this is like the most
Potentially and most
depressing
likely
thing.
to the one that they work for, and we will never know because they don't have to tell anyone. So that's great.
Because right? If there's one thing, like I don't want to classify myself as like a bitter clinger or anything like this, or, I don't like Trump and all that good stuff, but Biden scares me versus after 4 years of Trump, I feel like I'm pretty well accustomed to it. But now it's like seeing his few cabinet picks, and I don't want to go back to this era of just the most blatantly corrupt, just money out of the pockets of.
Right, because
it's
the people
so fucking depressing.
The people who are being selected are definitely not of the era of change that came with the Biden administration.
No.
The people that are being selected are, in every case, establishment political workers who have worked in either the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, or the Obama administration, or all three, or any combination of the two.
Yeah.
And so the idea that any of this is going to usher in any type of new change or
We're back to normality.
anything different than what we have had for the last 2 decades,
Yeah.
I think is ludicrous. And if
hurts
you
my
are
soul.
somebody who voted for Joe Biden, I would feel very frustrated that it's been, negative a few weeks because he's not even fucking inaugurated yet, and he's already
Not even confirmed
breaking his
yet.
promises of things that he told you that he was going to do. So
Just
that's
get ready
not
for more.
a very good indicator of what we have coming. Like I said, as these Colin has some things pulled up here on his screen, but as those seats get filled, we will talk about them. We will talk about their histories and whether or not they are likely to be good picks for that position. But that's not what we're
John
doing today.
Kerry is back.
John Kerry.
Fucking
Energy.
Yeah, the climate. He's the special presidential envoy for
Climate. That's what it is. Yeah.
I'm a
Which
little
is
upset
funny
they didn't
because
go with the traditional climate czar.
he has yachts and private jets and multiple homes, but
Yeah.
he is going to dictate how we should lead our lives and the way that companies should pay taxes to clean up the environment.
I predict
That's
an unprecedented expansion in government size over the next 2 years. Like an unprecedented expansion. Because it grows pretty fast anyways. But I think this is we're just going to run a train on it. It's going to be terrible.
run a train on it.
I'm not.
We're going to run a train on the country with the government.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's really not good. Yeah.
It's really not
Yeah.
good. I mean, because I have a hard time, like, explaining to people why I feel like I could have done much better, felt much better about the country's back end after 4 more years of Trump than I can think of, 2 to 4 to 8 years of Biden in place. Like, I can't, the fundamental differences and what I think will have to change or what would change between a Biden presidency and another fucking shit show Trump presidency.
I'm scared.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. And I mean, obviously, we're going to do what we do. We're going to call balls and strikes. You know, Biden does good stuff. We'll be like, cool, man. Thanks for surprising me. But I just don't have high hopes considering we have a very, 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 very long track record of him and what he does and what he thinks. And I don't
He was
see
first
that's
elected when he
change.
was 28.
And he is.
And he's been
76?
actively working in government since then for
Or he's 78. He's 78.
almost 50 years. For 50 years. So
That's not. How do we continue to allow the fucking Boomer Plus generation to continue to fucking run this country into the ground? How did we do this to ourselves again? We've been governed by the same fucking idiots for decade upon decade upon decade now. What is wrong with us?
the party that rallied against old white men leading everything picked the oldest, whitest
guy.
man that's ever been president before. That's who just is about to become president from the party who just that's good. That's rich. That's comedy. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
I can't. Fuck.
Yeah. So with that, isn't
ironic.
it very ironic? Yeah, it's very funny. With that, I
funny.
think that we will go ahead and bring the pre-show to an end. We want to check one last time for comments. Oh, I do have to ask everybody, we do want input. Will you come back to this camera here because this is better straight on look. Is local better than Patreon?
Locals is better than Patreon in the fact that
They pump your shit, right?
not so much. I mean, I don't know how it works with the idea from locals was to kind of cross-reference each other's networks and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's not like Patreon in the fact that, you know, in Patreon there's one big daddy at the top, and that is Patreon, right? And they get a cut out of everything. Locals does all this stuff for you. I think they take a set percentage of whatever it is every year, but you get a really nice, free-flowing social media like website.
Oh, and like an app too, right?
Yeah, you get your own URL, you get an app, the whole 9 yards, and then it's all yours, period.
Yeah.
Like the Patreon owns a portion of whatever content that you put out there.
Oh.
Locals, you own everything. You can take it all up, you can leave, you can do whatever you want.
I did not know that about
Yeah.
Patreon.
A lot of websites, like I'm pretty sure a lot of YouTube, once you get into the partner program and stuff, makes it so that you cannot bring you don't own your content after X amount of time.
So if you go to leave Patreon, are they going to keep the first 2 minutes of whatever podcast you take off of there?
I think
or how
the
does that
problem
work?
is that there's nothing in their terms of service and stuff that say that they can't do that. I don't know if it's been tested or not, but I'm a fan of locals just because it feels more like, you know, shopping your local stores and shit like that. It feels more
because it's local.
localized. Yeah, locals.com, baby.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The last thing that I want to ask everybody, I need input on this here. We talked about it before the show about the goatee. Colin's not sold. I don't really know what I'm doing.
But we need time. We need time for it to
It's been less
truly
than a
take
week,
root.
so just before anybody's like, it's not as strong as the mustache. It's been 6 days.
It's been 6 days.
So by the time that this comes out, episode 100 for sure, that'll be like decision time, pre-show episode 100, or
Whether
whatever
or not
we
you're
do.
gonna carry it through into the new year.
That'll be the decider. Yeah, this will be the first time that I've ever had birthday pictures with a mustache or anything. It's odd.
I feel like we need to get you a longboard and a bottle
No!
of Ocean Spray cranberry juice.
Well, and right now, my hair's so long. I'm going to see Paul next week.
Oh,
so
dude, I
shout
feel it,
out
bro.
Swell Blended. Yeah, I was
Long hair
waiting.
today.
I was waiting for the prime time to get my haircut before my birthday. Birthday's coming up next month. So yeah, so I was waiting for the prime time. So you can see it's nice and long.
Wicked prime, bro.
Now it's going to be, like I said, I'm going to go and get it cut on Friday. So it'll be like 3 weeks or so before my birthday. That'll be just enough time for it to have grown
How long
out a
is
little
that?
bit. It's been 2 months, probably 3
For
months
real?
since I've had a haircut.
Wow. It's not bad.
No, the ears.
Yeah.
That's the,
Dude,
that's
the ears, bro. I
indicator.
hate it.
Yeah.
I get
So-
that. You'll get the little swoops, but then you start to
And-
get them little tassels going on.
And that's why I've been doing the beanie the last couple days. I had that migraine last weekend, you know?
Yeah.
And so I did a lot of beanies when I had my migraine to keep my hair away from my face, and it was looser than a baseball hat. So
Fuck, bud.
and
But
I
I'm
was,
feeling
like,
better
super
now, though.
concerned.
From the sound
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
It's
I'm
good.
feeling good. Yeah, it was like Thursday. I left work Wednesday early, like halfway through the day. because my head was hurting so bad. And then I was home Thursday, and I worked a few hours on Friday and started to feel like shit again. So I came back home and then didn't do shit again on Saturday. And then on Sunday I was fine. And so I worked this week, It was a short week anyway. Thanksgiving. Oh, this is the last thing. Thanksgiving, because everyone told, the government was like, don't do that.
do it.
And so you had your mom over, right?
Yeah.
And not because the government told you to only have your mom over, but because your brother was with his girlfriend's family, right?
Yeah.
And so
but now that they're...
It's just you and your brother.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I have 2 half brothers too.
Right.
But they live in and around some very frail older people from other members of the family and girlfriends and stuff like that. So they just didn't go anywhere.
Keep it safe.
Yeah. Because COVID's COVID, man. But
COVID is COVID.
Yeah. And when it comes to us, like, getting together and hanging out, like, there's not really a concern I have. But, like, I'm not going to have my grandparents over because I'm not an idiot. COVID still kills people. I know multiple people in my life who have had friends and relatives die through or with COVID.
Yeah.
And it's just there's a specific set of population out there that's very, very susceptible to it, that it can kill them very, very simply. Especially if they have a lot of comorbidities, which generally when you get older you do.
Yeah. At least one.
Yeah. So not being an asshole, not trying to I'm not trying to like kowtow or bow to the man or anything. That's the way it was.
It's just the way that it shook out this year.
It was quite nice. I had the first Thanksgiving in the house after we own it.
Finally locked it down.
Cool. Yeah, baby. Finally done.
Casa de Offie. We're out here.
Put a baby in it.
Baby in the house.
Yeah,
not yet, but soon.
We're pumping her full of prenatals and
nice
all that good stuff now.
Afternoon, Mom. Sorry that you're here just at the end, but yeah, we're about to take off. So that's it. If anybody has... Oh, the gun thing. Officer Brian's topic. So, Officer Brian, if you're watching this one's for you. The Joe Biden gun policy is a listener request from Officer Brian, one of the homeboys, Emily's boyfriend. Are they engaged or are they just no
Married.
pressure? What?
Married? No.
No.
I don't know.
Emily and Brian are not married.
No.
No. Are they engaged or are they just...
I don't think that they're engaged yet.
No. Okay.
Doesn't matter. I don't know that
man.
anybody here... Doesn't matter. Either way, happiness to Officer Brian and to Emily, whatever the status of their consensual bond is.
They're just
with
partners,
that,
bro.
thank you for watching us on YouTube at Salt of the Streets. Obviously, we have our Instagram at Salt of the Streets. We have our Facebook at Salt of the Streets, even though fuck Facebook because they won't give us or even let us give them money. We have our...
I'm sure we could privately donate, not ask them to post anything for us.
Fucking
but
assholes.
Fucking assholes.
We have our personal social media. I'm at Salt of the Street on Twitter, Salt of the Streets on Parler, Alpaca_Don on Instagram. Colin is at Big Bird Offie on all 3 of those things.
All of them,
You
baby.
can find all of this information at saltofthestreets.com. Obviously, you can find our podcast anywhere. Leave us a rating and review. Tell people about it because we're being shadow banned to fuck, so nobody sees any of our content. I got another report since the last episode of somebody who had been unsubscribed a second time from our podcast. This is the second time they've had to resubscribe. This is, I'm going to say, I think I said a dozen last time, so this is getting closer to 15 individual cases of people being unsubscribed, unliked, unfollowed from our content without their consent or their choice. Shit is getting dark out here. We've seen it happen with New York Post stories before the election. We've seen it happen with other stories.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure that if you're on Twitter, you are looking at the latest page and not the homepage, because if you're looking at the homepage, they are dictating to you what you can and cannot see. Make sure you're on the latest page. Make sure on all of your feeds you are just looking at the latest. Do not let the tech overlords tell you what you can and cannot consume. Do not let other people who think they're smarter than you tell you what you can and cannot know.
Amen.
With that, we're out of here. Thank you. This was a long pre-show, but it was beautiful. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.